Henry Wright from Henry Wright TV. How are you? Good afternoon.
I'm good. Outside of the football world, I'm really, really good. Obviously busy at work and doing 4 streams today. So busy day. But how's things for you?
All good, man. All good. Yeah, I'm only doing 2 today. I'm doing this and then I'm on with this bloke at 9 o'clock called Henry Wright.
Don't know who that is.
Loves a baseball cap. He does. He must have terrible hair. Yeah, I mean, look, let's jump straight in. I'll be honest. I said to you, do you want to do a show? I'm just getting. I feel like I've always understood ENIC and Spurs model, and I've been. And sorry, good afternoon. Hello, everyone in the chat. Sorry, that is terrible of me, isn't it? I'm so frustrated with Spurs. I've gone straight in. Big up to everyone in the chat. There's 55 of you at the moment. We'll get there, I'm sure, as we go on. I'll put the link in maybe in about half an hour once Henry and I have chewed some fat. I'm going to invite people on. Feel free to call us negative. Don't mind. Don't care. Still love you either way. Thank you for watching. Smash that like button. And all super chats do go to charity. Follow Savva Talk Spurs and Henry Wright TV. Henry, as I was saying, I've always known and I've preached to years for you and to anyone who listen that I don't like the owners, that I hate the way they run our club, that they're never going to back managers. And for years, many fans have told me that it's going to change once we get Champions League football. It didn't change under Poch. Then we were told, sorry, I'm just making sure my thing's off. Then we were told it was going to change when we get the, there's Stel. Hello, Stel. I'm just mid-flow. I'll introduce you properly in a minute. So we were told, Henry, people like us were told it will change. The club will change approach when we get Champions League. That didn't happen under Poch. We're told it would change when we've been in the stadium for 4 or 5 years. That's happened and it's still not changed. When we get the director of football we want, when we get a world-class manager, we've got all those things, Henry. And I'll be honest with you, I feel as numbed by it as always. I just feel like there's no interest for me in this transfer window. I don't see what we've done. I don't know where everyone is getting this wonderful window from. And to top it off, Henry, I see clubs like Newcastle bidding for Isak. I see clubs like West Ham bringing in Paqueta at 34 million. And in the same day, I'm hearing that Spurs are looking for a loan or a 10 million deal for Adama Traore, who's been in this league for how many years and got an average of 2.8 assists per season. Right, take it off me, mate. I mean, what's going on?
So let's start, right. What are we crying? Let's you're right, Stel. First things first. Let's break this down.
Sorry. So emotions are high, Stel. Emotions are high.
We're crying out for creativity in this team, right? All I hear is excuses. The formation can't fit a playmaker in. Conte system, etc. All it is excuses. The thing for me is we're crying out for creativity in the middle of the park. We're crying out for an out-and-out number 8, number 10. Lucas Paqueta, whether you like him or not, didn't have the best time at AC Milan, gone to Lyon, done much better. I know Iggy's not the best of fans, but he is a creative spark, right? A team like West Ham, who, let's be honest, have had the worst start they could have to the Premier League season. This will be their 8th signing, right? 8 signings. Not loans, not free transfers, not options to buy. 8 signings, right? And they bring in Lucas Paqueta.
Not free transfers.
I don't know who's playing me, but yeah, it's going to be their 8th signing. And we are crying out for creativity and we're looking at replacing Brian Hill as a winger. I did a video earlier and I said I would take Wilfried Zaha as my number 1 winger target from the Premier League. People were saying, you don't know what you're talking about. But every single player I compared Wilfried Zaha to, on a goal perspective, Wilfried Zaha smashed them to bits. Saka, Smith Rowe, Neto, Adama Traore, Gabriel Jesus, Richarlison. Wilfried Zaha smashed them all to bits. He's already got 3 goals this season. You know, but we're not prepared to give 29, 28 or 30-year-olds big long-term contracts. Hang on, let's rewind. We've just given Heung-min Son a 5-year contract and he's 30. So it can't work both ways. With us, We're crying out for creativity so much. When Harry
and Ben Davis, don't forget that
and
wonderful contract.
Eric Dyer's apparently going to get a new deal.
Van
You know,
Dyer.
it is absolutely obscene. It is actually obscene how, you know, how we achieved top 4. You think, right, okay, we struggled. Now it's the time. All I've heard is you can't do it all in one window. Nottingham Forest are on the verge of making their 17th signing. 17th. They've spent over £200 million. Nottingham fucking Forest. It is an absolute disgrace. It genuinely is.
It is. I mean, Stel, let me bring you in here. Just before we kick off, so we've jumped straight in. This is what I love about our shows. I'm sorry if people don't, but you all watch, so I think you do. We're real. We go straight in. There's no fluff. We're not pulling wool over people's eyes. Stel, THFC has asked us, and he sent a few comments in basically along the lines of, can we talk about this? Saying that Spurs have this week submitted new planning applications to build extensions at Hotspur Way. That's why we're going for loans and cheap deals, because the money isn't there. Work going on at the training ground, also helping with the women's team and the youth teams. Application made to Enfield Council. I mean, Stel, this is everything we've said, right? They want to do everything in their power to be a colossal business other than that piece of green grass.
First of all, big up to all the negative massive in the comments, all the toxic warriors, my crew, my family. Welcome. I thought Henry's little rant just there was so negative, like really, really negative.
Yeah,
and
he always is.
Look, I guess I'm kind of guilty this time round, because I was one of the fans that said at the start of the window when we got Bastoni and Paratici, I thought, look, there's change. They're getting them in early. We never buy a player over 30. I really thought to myself, they're actually going to do it. They're actually going to really back the manager. And as the window went on, we bought Richarlison. I wasn't a big advocate of it, but I said to myself, look, if Conte really wants him, if this is what Conte really wants, then I will back it, because it's what the manager wants and I back the manager. And then we signed Longley, and I thought, hold on a minute. Hold on a second here. We all know we need an outstanding centre-back to partner Romero, who's already outstanding. It still needs to improve, but can we bring in another player to create a really good partnership? And for me, Longley just felt like, well, it's like a 1-year loan, no obligation to buy. It's a half-hearted plaster over the cracks. This isn't backing the manager. And then we signed Spence, which I said at the time, look, this is a punt. This is an absolute punt. He's not even in the matchday squad.
He can't,
and then
Conte get in over Lucas Moura still.
He's third choice to Lucas Moura. Well, fourth choice, because Doherty's ahead of him as well. And then Conte came out and made those comments, which I thought was so revealing, because he made no comments about any other player we signed. So I thought, right, that is kind of a negotiation between the club and Conte, where the club have said, Conte, you've got to do this one for us and we'll do the rest for you. Or, okay, maybe, there's an agreement there, because the excuse now is, but Conte signed off on it. All right, so why doesn't he play for Spurs? Why is he not even in the squad? So that was a second kind of thing that got me thinking, hold on. This isn't looking as big as I thought. And then, to not have signed an attacking mid, a quality centre-back, and to not have even put this Spence, to not have bought a proper right-back that comes in, just the way Paratici has come in and taken Sessegnon's place, why hasn't that happened at the right-back situation? And I go back to what was said back in January and February by the journalist, I forgot his name, Darren Lewis, Michael Bridge, all of the Last Word on Spurs lot, all of the other podcasts, and We Are Tottenham TV. They said it as well. And Matt Hayes and all these pundits and people and Spurs fans. Stelios, hold up. The big summer window will be in the summer. And then before the summer came, the £150 million announcement. And this is the big change. This is the big moment. We've got all these players in nice and early. Look at the change. Well, now You explain to me why 1 week before the window ends, a lot of Spurs fans are ranting up now. Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because just like I said at the start of this window, I'm liking it. I'm now in a position where I've got to agree with Savva wholeheartedly. This is no different to any other window other than we've done stuff early. Spence, for me, he's not in the squad. Longley, injured. He was injured at Barca last year. He's not the answer. He might be better than what we've got, but he's not a Romero. Richarlison can't even get into the start the game, even when Son and Kulusevski aren't playing well. Listen, I don't know what's going on, but I have to say, I now feel underwhelmed as a fan. This is not that big window that I was told to stay calm for and wait for. Unless we sign two top players. Not one. Unless we sign 2 top players, I'm sorry. I'm not buying into any more excuses. We're building for the future. Trust Conte. Oh, you're just negative. Bullshit. It's gone on too long. 22 years, and I'm feeling the same as before. It's not right.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we're all frustrated. And what I want to say is, people in the chat have said that we all got hoodwinked and we all got. I didn't. I've said it from day one, right? I don't trust the owners. Everyone will know. I will moan about this until the day I die, right? This window has been the same as before, but with doing these deals early rather than late. And I said to someone, I don't know, probably one of you two, the other day on a show, imagine we'd bought in Spence, done the Adoji deal, Longley on loan, right? And all of that had been in the last 2 weeks of the window instead of the first month, right? We wouldn't be having this positive reaction now. Now what we're seeing is everyone knows what we need. And we've got a split fan base again. We've got the fan base that are telling me, I've got loads of people in my YouTube channel comments right now going, Conte's happy. Apparently they've had a phone call with Conte and he's confirmed to them that he's 100% happy. It's what I don't get, right? Second of all, we don't need creativity. I saw someone say it right here. We don't need creativity. It baffles me how anyone watched us versus Chelsea and watched us versus Wolves and doesn't think that we need a creative player. Third, it's now the justification that gets me, Henry. If Arsenal had this window, we'd be sitting there looking at them going, yeah, but who have they signed to get in their first team? With us, it's, oh, yeah, but Longley, that's smart because we'll get Bastoni next summer. Oh, well, Spence, really good punt. Forster on a free. That's, mate, what's going on, Henry? Talk to me about why fans are actually saying this has been a really good window when we've been outspent by the likes of West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Leeds, Chelsea, Arsenal, soon to be Newcastle. Like, aren't we the one of all those teams that's Champions League?
I said it earlier, didn't I? With this 150 million cash injection, where it looks like 40 odd million apparently is going to go on the women's academy. Fair enough. But then where's the other 110 million going? Plus the Champions League revenue that we've apparently got. Then you look at, so we've got, let's say 200 million to spend. We're at 70 million net spend. We've signed Richarlison. We've signed 60 million on Richarlison. We got Longley on a loan. Jed Spence 15 million. Paratici, 4-star, free transfers, and Basuma for 25 million. Udoji's gone back to Udinese, so we haven't activated that 15 million transfer fee yet. How are West Ham, who are in the Conference League, on the verge of signing a creative aspect like Lucas Paqueta, yet we are dying out for creativity and have got less creativity than West Ham, by the way. We have less creativity than West Ham. And genuinely, it is baffling the fact that fans are genuinely defending this window, saying, oh, it's been a great window. You know that Champions League group, we are going to get absolutely thrown around like a ragdoll in that group. If we get, they're talking about us getting, Inter Milan, Real Madrid and Marseille is like our predicted group on a computer generated thing, whatever. Regardless of if people think Lucas Paqueta is good or not, we need a creative player. And we're not doing that. We're looking at getting a winger. So we're going to have Lucas Moura, Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, Richarlison, Kulusevski, and who's the other forward? Right, so we've already got 5 forwards. How many creative midfielders have we got? How many playmakers have we got in this team? How many midfielders have we got who can actually put the ball in the back of the net?
No.
Our third highest goal scorer last year was own goals. Why are we not fucking signing a midfielder? I don't get it.
Why do fans keep saying we're going to buy players in the next window when we don't even know what we're doing this window? I don't understand this.
In the next window.
I don't understand this.
We're getting
Bastoni next year.
Before we get to that, Stel, this is another common misconception that I love.
Why we've got to wait a year?
It's fans saying we can't put we can't put right all the wrongs in 2 windows. Now, I agree with this wholeheartedly. But Stel, what I want to ask you is this. What wrongs have we actually righted? Because from
left side
the 7 we signed this window, like we just said, only Paratici for me is guaranteed first team football on the left, and probably Basuma when he recovers from COVID. So what have we actually righted?
3 months ago.
You are?
He had COVID like 3 months ago. This is absolute. These excuses are bollocks. Conte doesn't want to play Basuma. He likes Højbjerg. That is the fact. Basuma is fully fit this Sunday. What's the bet? Højbjerg starts.
Yeah. I don't get it still. So what have we put right?
So this is the way I look at it. I think we have fixed the left-sided attacking situation, wing back with Paratici. I do think we have fixed the second striker option. I'm not saying Richarlison is great, but he's better than what we had last year, hands down. We had nothing on the bench. Dane Scott, Troy Parrott, and Mora. I'd rather have Richarlison going up front. So those 2 things have been fixed. However, we haven't fixed the creative mid situation. Henry just said it. We haven't. The right wing back situation is worse because Emerson's worse than Doherty, and he starts every game. We've done nothing to address that. And I don't want to hear Spence. He's not in the squad. No fan can use Spence as the answer. He's not in the squad. If he was good at the level, he would be like Paratici, come straight in. So we haven't fixed the attacking mid. We haven't fixed the right wing back. We haven't fixed the centre back situation where there is no world-class player to go or top talented player to go next to Romero. And I feel we need 2 there, not 1. And on top of that, Bergwijn's gone.
What's Iggy offering to do to us? Go on. Carry on.
The other thing is, we've got rid of Ndombele. Right, let's say Basuma's the replacement for Ndombele. Fine, I can take that. We've got rid of Lo Celso. Where's the replacement? We've got rid of Brian Hill. Where's the replacement? We've got rid of Joe Rodon. Where's the replacement? We're getting rid of Tanganga. Where's the replacement? So not only have we not addressed the problems, like key problems, there was 5 key problems need addressing. We've done 2. So 60% of the problems we haven't addressed. We've also created another problem where we've lessened the squad but not brought in replacements. We've still got Harry Winks at the club.
Do you know?
We've still got Davinson Sanchez, and people are telling me now, "Oh, but Davinson Sanchez started 7 games. We haven't lost any with him. He's a different player." Look at the teams he started against. Watford. Who else went down? There's another team that went down. Norwich. Right. He never started against Man City, against Liverpool.
He did start against Man City last year, and he was eating grass like some horse on the field.
That was 2 years ago under Jose. I remember.
Eating grass like a horse.
He did. It fell. He nosedived, pencil dive like that. So not only have we not fixed the problems, like the 3 of the 5 problems, not only have we not fixed them, we've created another problem. We do not have squad depth. We've got rid of players, not replaced them.
But look at the bench. Look at the bench right now. Because I keep hearing this as well. I keep hearing that for those saying that we've not bought first team players, what I keep hearing is, yeah, but we've strengthened the bench. But like you said, how many players have gone out? Like 6, 7, 8 players have gone out. 6 have come in, plus a Doji who's on loan. Now, I think I got like a B+ at maths, something like that. So I can't say I'm great, but I'm pretty sure if you remove 8 and add in 6, I'm pretty sure that leaves you 2 less than you had before. Now, I just don't get it that there are fans. I've seen some of these polls from other YouTube channels. I won't mention them, from other YouTube channels, because somebody messaged last night in my chat, Stel, telling me and you off because we mentioned last word on Spurs. So never mind.
I couldn't give a shit. I couldn't give a shit.
No, I know. Me neither.
They mentioned me. I've got video clips. So,
well, what makes me laugh is I see these polls as to, oh, look at the depth we've got. I'll say this again. If Basuma starts and Paratici starts this weekend, right, what is coming off that bench? Where is that depth, Henry?
There isn't.
Who is it? Are we saying now that Lucas Moura, who's not been good enough for 3 years, is now depth? Yeah? Emerson Royal or Doherty at right wing back is depth. Yeah? Skip and Højbjerg, if they were to be on the bench. I mean, what are we doing here? I'm so baffled. I'm so angry.
I don't want to compare it to. I don't like comparing us to Arsenal. If you look at Arsenal's bench right now, say they start Gabriel Jesus, Saka, and Martinelli. They've got Smith Rowe. They've got Nketiah. And they're looking at bringing in Neto as well. So one of that front three is going to be on the bench as well. You look at Albert, look at Chelsea's bench. Look at their midfielders they can bring on. Players like Conor Gallagher and Kovacic. Who are we bringing on in games to change moments? We've got a wing back in our academy that starts for us right now, Lavinia. And we're looking at getting rid of him. All I keep seeing is, right, I'm going to a bit of a rant now. All I keep
just
seeing
quickly,
is
before you go on that rant, Henry, before you go on that rant, Luan is desperate. He was bringing this up yesterday. So he said apparently somewhere...
That is
sarcasm,
were you joking? Clearly.
Oh, right.
Clearly.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Since when have I said on my channel that we're going to go in a title race? It's just looking at it was right after the Man United Liverpool game, looking at how badly they were. I was just genuinely
Henry, are you genuinely worried about Arsenal? Because I'm not. I think they're off to a good start. They've had easy fixtures, but I do think once they get into 2 games a week and one injury to what's his name, Partey, Jesus. But you know the one. Do you know the one thing with us? I think that we've got better depth up front and in that midfield area, but they've got better depth at the back. So if they lose a defender at the back or 2, I think they're better equipped than us. But if they lose players in midfield or up front, I think we're better equipped. I think they're playing the better football than us, no doubt. And I think that they've got off to a really energetic, positive start and they've got a nice run of fixtures. But I do feel as the season goes on, that's not sustainable because I don't think their squad's big enough. Same as us, Henry. I think us and Arsenal actually level now. I think we've leveled up. I mean, look, if you disagree, that's fine. But I just feel
no. I think you're right. I think the difference
they're
is
just off to a flyer. They're off to a flyer. They've shot their load. They've shot their load too soon.
But if I look at it like this, look, this is what I said yesterday. Still, winning games breeds confidence. So it doesn't matter who they've got. If they go on a 5, 6, 7 game streak, they've already got 20 points on the board and they've left most of the teams in the league behind. So from then on in, they can win one, lose one, win one, lose one, right? Second of all, it breeds confidence. Third of all, if I actually look, like Henry said, I look at so let's assume their front three is Martinelli, Jesus, and can't think who the other one was the other day.
Nketiah.
No, who started against Brentford?
Was it Saka, Emil Smith Rowe, Odegaard?
Well, they're front three.
Right. So Odegaard, right? Now, as Henry said, now if you look, all right, they need another striker, but they've still got Smith Rowe to bring off the bench. Yeah. They've still got that Fabio Vieira that they've bought to come off the bench. Right. At full, but they've got Kieran Tierney who can go on the left.
And Zinchenko.
No, but Zinchenko's playing. I'm saying Kieran Tierney on the left to come in. You've got Tomiyasu who can come in on the right to go in if Saka's out. They've got the free cent. I feel like they're very similar to us.
That's what I said.
But for some reason, we keep talking like we've got depth and we haven't. But
our front three, but our front three whoops theirs. Kane, Son, Kulusevski on their day whoops theirs. So I think it balances out. I'll tell you where the problem's going to be. If they sign Neto, and maybe one other, then I would begin to feel, oh dear, we've just surrendered being above them, because I feel then they've got that bit more depth than us. But it depends what we do. Like if we sign the Atalanta guy, is it
Malinowski?
Yeah, he looks like a good player.
He is a very good player.
Right. He's better than Mora. He's better than Bergwijn, who's gone. He'll be better than Brian Hill. So I think that gives us a bit more something about us. But why are we comparing ourselves to Arsenal, who finished 5th? We should be in a situation now where we're saying, right, have we closed the gap on Man City and Liverpool? Have we genuinely started to knock on the door, and Chelsea? Have we genuinely started to knock on the door on those 3? I can't say yes, Savva. I can't say we have. Yeah, and I thought that's the whole point of this window.
Yeah, listen, this is the thing for me. I'm looking at this going, okay, one of the big things we heard last year was that when he needed to change games, Conte famously said he turns around at the bench and sees nothing. I look at this bench now, and other than Richarlison, I still look at the attacking options and go, well, what is there? I look at the centre-back options and go, well, what is there? The right-back option is either going to be Doherty or Royal, right? I'm sorry, the central midfield options are all safe, hard-working midfielders. I feel like they've massively pulled the wool over fans' eyes that are saying we've now got much more depth. I think we've got less depth, but we've just got a few better players on the bench, but no one that comes on and worries teams still.
The problem is, and this is where I get into trouble, and I won't mention names this time. The problem is the largest YouTube channels for Spurs and not pro, but the big Spurs journalists, online, TV, they defend it and they justify it and they make excuses for it. So because they're a voice of popularity and a prominent one, most fans will listen to that and go, yeah, good point. And because they're popular, we live in a society now, whereas if you go against the grain or you speak up, you're demonized. So there's fans out there like us, many actually, who feel the same way, but they won't speak up and they're scared to speak up because they fear a large channel with 100,000 followers saying something about them, and they feel, oh, now everyone thinks I'm bad. Now everyone thinks I'm anti-Spurs. But that's not the case. But that's the society we live in now. We live in a society where if you speak up against the big voices, you're an asshole. But what if you're right? What if your small voice is actually right? And the fact is what, Savva? For 22 years, bar one Carabao Cup, we've been right every season.
Yeah.
Yet fans don't want to, we're building for the future. It's like, again. I don't know, Savva. It's difficult as a fan.
On that point, still, yeah, Peter Simons, it is all about opinions. But what I've noticed over the years is, it's about opinions. But what I've noticed is fans that I like to think of myself as realistic, not negative, right? And most of the time, when what I've said happens at the end of every year, what I notice is no one whose opinion was wrong comes on and says, yeah, I got that wrong. I can guarantee you the moment I'm wrong, people will go, see, rah, rah. And this is the thing, Peter. Now, yes, it's about opinions, but sometimes it's just about using common sense. You look at Tottenham Hotspur and you go, you need centre-backs. So what do? We've loaned one. Now, what they do to counter that is fans have convinced themselves that Vardy or Bastoni are joining next window. Like, that is now ingrained in so many fans' minds. Right? We can't even get Malinowski, right? We can't even get... We haven't been able to get... Like, it took us 7 weeks to get Spence, and some fans think that we're getting Bastoni or Vardy next window. How can we possibly know that still 12 months prior?
We don't. And no one saw Basuma and Paratici come into this club. There was no warning, no nothing. The only two players we had a feeling we were going to buy was Richarlison, because we were constantly chasing, and there was is it 50 million, 55, 60 million? Is in the news every day. And the other one was Spence, because Daniel Levy, that's his one and only transfer. You know, he can't help himself. He's still got to feel he's a part of this.
Yeah.
So I feel that we don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea. I never thought, you know, Fraser Forrester was going to sign as a backup goalie. I didn't realize we were looking for one. And then the signing of that kid from Udinese, that came from completely left field.
Yeah.
What journalist, pro TV sports presenter said, yeah, we think Spurs in a couple of weeks' time are going to go in for a 19-year-old left back from Udinese? Look, no one knows. That's the reality. We speculate. We go by the news. The truth is, look, by now and the end of the window, we could go and sign a really good centre back and a really good attacking mid, and we'll all calm down. But we're talking about now, and we don't know what's going to happen. And as it is now, I'm sorry, this is not that big super window that I was told was going to happen by everyone and anybody who said calm down. And so, it's underwhelming at the moment.
Okay, so let me ask Henry. So look, I remember. I say I remember. I can't remember the exact day, but the day they announced the 150 million nonsense of we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing that. Me, you, Stel, and Will did a show. And I remember the number of fans who came in that show. Savva's in the mud. Henry's in the mud. Stel's in the mud. Will's in the... We're all in the mud because there's a war chest. Alistair Gold has told us there's a war chest. Like, all of these people that are still... People believe religiously have got so much wrong this window, Henry. And all of them, at one point or other, use the term war chest, right?
It's a code word, isn't it?
This year, still, what did you say?
It's code word.
It's that process, COVID, you know, whatever word that we want to throw around.
Building future.
Yeah,
Hey,
code word.
But my point is, Henry, what will happen is still Alistair Gold. Like, I've got nothing against Alistair Gold, right? Alistair Gold, those likes will still keep putting out this stuff. And these fans, still even probably 50% of the fans in the chat here will go, Alistair Gold said this. Well, listen, I've been told this window. I mean, this window alone, we were signing Bastoni, Undercar was close to signing, Belotti, Tielemans, James Maddison was 10 million away from on and on and on. None of it's happened, Henry. There's been no war chest. At what point do the fans go, hang on, we've got to actually start being grown-ups and think for ourselves rather than what mouthpieces tell them?
Well, it depends how long people's patience are. People like me, you and Stel can see through the bullshit. You know, we can see that whatever Daniel Levy, it's like the way I describe it is with our stadium and our pitch right now, we've got this fantastic house, but shit furniture. We go into the Ferrari dealership with fiat money. We look for champagne players on a lemonade budget. Every single time, whenever we've looked to buy a player, how many times do we... Okay, I'll ask you both one question because you've been alive a little bit longer than I have. In your lifetime...
Easy, Henry.
Levy,
Easy.
Wow, that was passive-aggressive for calling us old. That really was.
Passive. What a load of bollocks. But
really toxic comment there.
Under Daniel Levy, have we ever gone out and signed a world-class player?
No.
Once. Rafael van der Vaart. But that's only because Redknapp swindled a cheap deal.
Right.
Out of nowhere.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But even once is not enough, Henry. We need 5 or 6 times, you know, once is...
5 or 6 times minimum. 15
Arsenal signed Aubameyang with Europa Cup football. And that's with Europa Cup football. So...
They signed Nicola Pepe off the highest goal scoring from a wide player in league, and they've just signed Gabriel Jesus. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea signed Raheem Sterling. They're on the verge of They signed Lukaku from Inter Milan, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner. Regardless of how these deals have come out to play, how many times? The only player I think we could say at the time who we thought was going to be a gem was Ndombele, and that turned out catastrophically wrong on epic proportions. But at the time, it looked like he could be the world beater.
I think the club gets a free hit on that one only because sometimes, right, you buy a player that doesn't work out and you spend big money, right? A good example, Chelsea. They did it with Shevchenko. They've done it with Lukaku. Sometimes you do spend big and it flops. But every
Chelsea
club that happens to.
Chelsea take the gamble every single window and buying a big player. They'll go and spend 60 million on Gordon.
Henry, I agree.
We'd sign 60 million on Gordon, and our fans would be going, my star boy, my young king. What a load of absolute bollocks.
I totally agree with you. I just think Ndombele's that. Lo Celso's not a free hit, though. That's not a free hit.
I want to come to this in 1 second, guys. Just quickly before I do, I want to say that all of you lot in the comments, I'm going to start calling you all Levy. Levy 1, Levy 2, Levy 3. I'll tell you why. There are 235 of you in the chat already, and there are only 58 likes. Guys and girls, come on. That's just over a quarter of you. Smash that like button. All super chats do go to the British Heart Foundation as well. Subscribe to Tottenham Away, who are flying at the moment. Subscribe to Henry Wright TV, who's looking to get to that 8K. And subscribe to little old Savva, who is about 160 away now from the big 2K.
Savva,
yeah.
Do you know what Henry just said about if we, Gordon for 60 million? If we sign Gordon for 60 million, I'll be so fucked off by that. Not because we've signed Gordon, because I rate him. I think he's a good player. I would take Gordon at Spurs. But why I would be fucked, it wouldn't even be because we paid 60 million, way over the odds. I would be so fucked off, massively fucked off, if we signed Gordon for 60 million, because why can't we get an elite centre-back or an elite cam for that price instead, which we need even more? If we were to sign Gordon for that price, I'd lose my... I would seriously be fucked off by something.
Do you know what? Still, someone pulled me up on this yesterday and they said, Savva, you keep saying that well done to Chelsea's owners for putting money in, right? Will you say well done to Chelsea's owners if they buy Gordon for 60 million? And you know what my response was? The difference between us and Chelsea is Chelsea will go, there's 60 million for Gordon, but at the same time, there's the money for Aubameyang. There's the money for Fofana. For them, it's another signing. For us, that would be our most expensive marquee signing. And the levels are, I'm not saying that deal's happening, right? I'm not saying it's not, but the levels between the two clubs and everyone getting really carried away. After I see it all the time, like after Chelsea lost to Leeds, see Savva, like Aditya, bless you, if you're in the chat, Aditya, when Chelsea gave us a C2, right, when they played us off the park, he was like, Savva, I was wrong. They looked good, blah, blah, blah. They lose to Leeds. Savva, what did I tell you? They're crap. It's like, it can't, 90 minutes doesn't change a squad and an ethos. And for me, still, I'm just a little bit underwhelmed how still now I'm seeing people say Basuma walks into any midfield in the world. But yet, he's been at Spurs. We haven't started him once, right? Guys, I honestly, I've not been this frustrated with Tottenham.
How many teams does Basuma start for? In the top 6, how many times does Basuma start for?
I think he gets into Man United's starting 11, but they're shit.
I think he gets into Man United.
Mind you, Casemiro's just gone there now, isn't he?
He's still better than Fred.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't
get into Man United.
He doesn't get in.
No, I think he does get into Liverpool. I think Liverpool's midfield's a mess at the moment. As soon as Thiago's injured,
right? No. There's not even point in comparing him to Thiago. Henderson, okay.
But they're not dropping their captain, are they? They're not. Then look, when all fit, we know their midfield has got the right balance. Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago. Yeah, this is why when I'm seeing people already saying, writing them off. Look, good teams bounce back. Yeah, here's this guy. This guy's going to sort all our frustrations out.
You lot, man, so negative.
Iggy's trying to prepare a big group game of soggy biscuit for us all to get the mood going.
You lot bloody need it as well.
Listen, Iggy, I'm a very happy guy in life, but Tottenham just kills me. Talk, Iggy, bring some perspective. Newcastle with Isak, West Ham players like Paqueta. Chelsea going after players like Aubameyang and Fofana and getting Man United getting Casemiro. We're linked with Adama Traore and Dan James.
Dan James. Oh my
Dan
God.
James.
I never
so
believed the Dan James one. I think I expressed my opinion on that. I never believed that. I think that's just like a little ploy. I mean, if he can't get a game at Leeds, he ain't gonna get a game at Spurs. So I threw that out of the window straight away. The Adama Traore one, I see the logic. The logical part of me gets it. Although, listen, of course, like you guys, man, I want more. I do. I would like more. I would like to see more. I'm thinking, and I'll say this,
Iggy, what's the logic of Adama Traore?
Well, it's on the right hand side. He's better than what we already have. That's the first thing.
Then who? Sorry.
For me, he will play. Listen, I don't care what people are saying. We're signing him as a forward. He ain't. He's going to play him at right wing back.
He's not a right wing back. He's not a right wing back.
He has played there for Wolves.
In Iggy's defence, neither was Victor Moses or Ashley Young, and they both.
He has played there for Wolves. He has played at right wing back for Wolves. He has.
Whether we like it or
not, listen. He is better than the two Lunatoons that we got up there right now. It really is. And the Spence one for me is the one I don't get. I'm trying to figure out. I'm being patient with this because I want to see the end game. I want to see how long till Spence actually gets a game before I can really go in. I'm a bit more patient, you guys. You guys are like straight in there, man. We've got 10 more days or a week before the transfer ends.
Because we spent £20 million on a player that doesn't even get
I understand.
Not the starting team, not even the bench. He's not even in the squad on match day.
Right, guys, let me ask you all this
doesn't
question.
deem him ready.
Let me ask you all this question. Gary Rowe, thank you very much for the super chat. Gary Rowe.
I rate Adama Traore. I didn't say anything of the sort. Did I say I want to put how I rate him? I just said he's better than the two that we got.
Hang on, guys.
That devalues the two that we got more than rating Adama Traore. That's what I'm trying to say, guys.
We can have this chat in 1 second, right? And for the person who said to me, stop begging for likes, listen, jump off. You're cool. Jump off.
Smash
I'm asking for likes. It helps.
Smash it, man. Give 500 likes, please.
Yeah.
Hit the like.
Listen, YouTube has put a lot of time and energy into content and getting each other aligned with time. So either jump out or jump on board. Guys, Gary Rowe has said, which new players do you think were not Conte's? Now, I'm going to go round. I'm going to start with you, Henry. First and foremost, I want to be really clear that I feel the definition of Conte's choice is very different to what Conte was offered and accepted. Can we answer it like that, please? Because I don't believe that these 7 players were top of a memo to Paratici. Henry, what do you reckon?
The only player Conte wanted out of all we've got is Paratici for me. I feel like they've said, okay, we're going to bring in Richarlison. Conte's probably gone, okay, fits the build, good player, bring him in. Jed Spence, it's clear. Are we doing one player at a time or are we just going round?
No, just let me know if any of them were or weren't.
He made that addressed clearly in his press conference that, you know, the club, he didn't say we're bringing in. He never said we're bringing in a player. He said the club. So he's addressing straight away to say, look, the club are bringing in this player. He looks to be a good player. Lenglet, for me, is the strangest one of the lot because we all know we wanted Tottenham legit were prepared to pay the money for Bastoni. The guy clearly didn't want to go. He wanted to stay in Milan, and now apparently we're going to hold out for him next year. But there's still 20 other good centre backs across Europe that would come and slot in. But we're not going and making a move for him. Lenglet can't even get in our, you know, he's don't know if he's fit, got COVID or whatever it is. Richarlison, I think, okay, I didn't like the price tag, but smart business because he comes in and yeah, it's like he fires blanks. That's Traore. He's like he's a gun. He's absolutely jacked, but he fires blanks. Yeah, with 4-star, okay, he's better than the likes of Galini, but it's just like, for me, this is a good window, but it's not the window we were all expecting.
No, I agree with that. Totally.
It's not ambition, is it?
So, all right, Stel, any discrepancies there with what Henry said? Is there anyone there that you think Conte has gone, get me that player first choice? Or are these the next run below?
I think the only two he really, really wanted was Perisic and Richarlison.
Yeah.
I think he wanted both of them. I think when Basuma was offered to him, he said, "Yeah, that'll work." Forrester, I don't think he gives two shits about. Spence wasn't his signing.
From?
Whatever his name is. Well, he's such a high-profile player, Iggy. I know his name.
I'll take it out of me, man. I'm just correcting you to say his name, man.
I don't know. Forrest Gatto.
Frustration is a real.
You've got to hook up. There's so
Gatto.
much sexual frustration between you two. It's unreal.
Forrest Gatto, backup goalie. Forrest Gatto. Look,
Savva, who cares about the backup goalie? Who cares? He's a backup goalie. He's not going to play. He's not going to play.
But Savva asked me, is it a player that Conte wanted, right? Like, look, for me, the way I look at this transfer window now is this. I'm actually gutted about. I'm actually gutted by Conte. I'm a bit disappointed with Antonio Conte because I really thought this was a manager that would finally come in and lay it down to the board if it wasn't done his way. And I really felt that Antonio Conte wasn't going to be someone that would come out and say things like, "I'm happy. If it keeps going like this, I'm good," which he has said. That sounds like the things Jose Mourinho said when he said, "I've been back, now it's over to me." It's like the things Poch used to say, "I'm happy, all is well." I just feel Conte has sold me as a fan short because I never felt he was that guy. And I always defended him. And I said to you, Savva, it was me that said it. If Conte stays, that means he's been backed. If Conte stays, he's been backed. He's the kind of manager that won't stay if he's not happy. So if Conte's happy with this, which I struggle to believe that, man. I struggle to believe he's happy with this when he's looking at the competition. I feel let down by him unless there's a big surprise come up next week. If it stays like this by the end of the window and Conte stays and he's saying all positive stuff, then either he's here for 4 years and hasn't signed a contract for 4 years and he's going to build something, or I feel seriously let down by him, man. I do. I'm saying it as it is. And I know a lot of fans won't handle any negativity towards Conte, but for me, I
know you're talking about me now. I know that.
No, Iggy, no, I'm not. No, Iggy, wait, no, I'm not. No, wait, no, hold on. Iggy, I'm not saying that to you. There's a lot of Spurs fans. Come back, man. Come back. Don't do that.
No, but in all seriousness, right?
I didn't mention that. That's to all Spurs fans, Iggy.
No, in all
Spurs fans who say things like, "If Conte wants him, I want him."
You want to be here. You want to be here. We all do. I think we've all come to an agreement that as Spurs and the fans, or most of the fans, we want to be here, right? That's where we want our team to be challenging the likes of the City, the Chelsea. You mentioned it earlier on, City, Chelsea, Liverpool. And we're in reality, after the end of last season, we had 12, 13 players that Conte could play. So we was here. Are we expected to make up this distance from there to there in one window? And it's a serious thought. Do you not feel there has been steps made compared to the back end of last season to perhaps where we want to be? Of course, we want to be up here. I think we will do. But there is a bit of a journey to go through to get to that point. It feels like we want to go from here to here in one hit.
Spence,
not realistic. I'm saying, well,
Longleaf and Forrest Gatto, are they part of those steps? Because I feel they haven't improved us one bit.
Well, we don't know. We don't know anything about Longleaf. Let's be honest. Other than the fact that I think personally that he's behind in the preparation. I think he needed a big, massive pre-season to which he wasn't able to do for whatever reason. He came late, and then he got COVID, and then what happened? Then he picked up a little knock. For me, he's behind in preparation, and he's nowhere near to the physical level that Conte requires. That's the first thing. That's what I feel. I think Basuma was behind. I think any manager in world football, in England for me, and at least in England, would want someone like Basuma in the pivot. 100%. There's no way that there weren't teams after him. We just acted really quickly and early and got him in. So I think Basuma would be a massive part of Spurs moving forward. He will do.
I agree.
Longley is a mystery. I don't know, guys. I saw him 2 years ago for Sevilla. He looked decent then. I haven't seen him since. So
it's a 1 year loan with no obligation to buy. That's
I meant what he's going to give this season, what he's going to give for us this season. That's what I mean by that. We don't know what kind of player we've got in the sense that I haven't seen him play well since.
Why are we buying one season players? How do you build with a one season?
Yeah, but I think we didn't get the players that we wanted in the area that he's occupying right now. So we probably thought, right, rather than go without, let's get someone in now in order to then prep and get the one that we want.
Can I ask you a question on that? let me ask you a question.
No,
on
it's
that.
just my take on it. It's how I've,
No, no, no.
how I've perceived it.
So we
Listen,
tried all
absolutely.
options.
Listen,
We tried all options.
I don't
and
know
then we
that.
got the
We
long
don't know that. We don't know. We don't know what
This is my thing with it. I've got no problem if Spurs had tried all summer to get a left-sided centre-back of quality. Then it didn't come off, and then you go, right, we've got 2 weeks left. Right, we're going to go and get Longley on loan. But Longley was signed so long ago that it's almost like they got. I mean, how long ago was
What we're
Longley
going to do? We're going
signed?
to have 3 centre. Well, the moment we signed, we signed Davies, then we would have 3 left centre back. We need the centre back too because we have 2 players for a position, regardless of the fact that they're good or shit or whatever. We've got 2 players for a position, bar Dyer at the back.
Yeah. But
we don't
my
have a
point
place
was,
for the Dyer.
but Iggy, my point was this. My point was, when did Longley sign? 6 weeks ago.
Yeah. He
7
signed early
weeks.
on. South Korea. We was in South Korea.
So what we're saying is 9 weeks before the season started, Spurs had gone, let's give up on centre-halves. We'll get someone in on a loan. I mean,
So I said, have we explored the options? Have we didn't. I don't think we explored the options. I think we just, there's a freebie, there's a cheap one, no obligations.
I don't think we've given up on options. I feel there will be 2 more players will come in, whether they're quality, whether they're, world beaters, I don't know. I think they will bring in somewhat a winger. And it will be a midfielder or a
but I meant, Henry, I meant at the back. I meant like literally they got to the stage already where they went, right, well, we can't get Bastoni and we can't get Vardial. Okay, let's get Longley on loan. We'll try again next year. Now, do you know what? What worries me about that is the number of fans that go, guys, don't worry. We got Longley. He's comfortable. And next year, Bastoni's joining. It's like, well, why? Next year, if Bastoni is available, Iggy, you know this. How many clubs in world football, if Bastoni
listen,
is
we're
available,
going to be in a fight. We're going to be an absolute fight. The work has to have been done already.
Iggy, you said you did a video on this. You said 2 weeks before this player was even on Chelsea's radar, you said, Tottenham, go and get Koulibaly.
I wanted Koulibaly because I thought for the price.
So why haven't we as a club looked at that and said, you know what? There's a solution.
I was told that he can only play in the back 4, and I said he can play on the left or the back 3. I said that.
But we went to a back 4 against Chelsea.
But it's not even that. Chelsea played with a back 3. Chelsea play with a back 3.
Yeah, the point I'm making is the player was there. You even identified this player, right? The player was there. Spurs did exactly what Savva said. There's 9 weeks to go of the window. Right, just get this Longley in, done. Rather than actually saying, hold on, we can't get Bastoni. What other really, really good options are there? Bremer was still available. Anderson at Crystal Palace is available. Koulibaly's. The point I'm making, and I think Savva's backed it up. There were so many more options available. Spurs chose not to take them. So that's either on Paratici, Levy, or Conte. I struggle to believe Antonio Conte wouldn't have taken better than Longley.
We don't know. This is the reality of it. We don't know what went down. We don't know what conversations were had. We don't know what was discussed and what was agreed upon.
I don't rate Conte then. If this was Conte's choice, I don't rate it.
Just before we carry this on, I've got to get through some super chats. I don't want people to think I'm ever rejecting them. Ignoring them. The first super chat is from this bloke. It's the baseball cap wearing Tottenham fan. It's from Henry Wright saying, let's hit 250 likes. Henry, thanks for the money, but stop begging for likes, Henry, on my behalf. Stop it. It's not fair.
Shameless. Right? I'm absolutely shameless.
Stop it. North London is, please go and support this channel. They've just started up the last few weeks. North London is Tottenham and Arsenal joint channel.
He's right, though. He's right.
Lots of
that can't be.
We'll come back to this in a second. Let me just quickly get through these. Hitesh, hello, has said, this is typical Spurs. Amen, brother. He's put 2 of the panel have no hair. Good observation. Savva and Henry, watch out. Big up the panel. Did we really expect more than we have seen? Hitesh, I didn't. I've said it all window, guys. You know I have. I didn't expect Spurs to do anything more. This is why I'm so frustrated. They never proved me
just on this
wrong.
super chat. If the window finishes right now, what would everyone give it out of 10?
5. We haven't even been able to sell any players, Henry. Every player's gone out on a loan, which is a next year problem already.
And we haven't replaced them.
We haven't replaced them.
What would you give it? I'd probably give it a Probably a 6.
It's 5, 6. That's average.
Yeah, it's not. It's nothing to shout home about. Just quickly, we'll come back to that in a minute. In a minute, Henry. Philo123 Coys, he's gone for everything there. Has said Jan and Toby for Sanchez and Davis right now.
Exactly. Well said.
I mean, I think that we'll come back to this in a minute. Please remind me of all these topics, guys. We'll come back to this in a minute. But what the worrying thing for me is that even in the years when we looked brilliant and didn't win anything, Jan and Toby were playing, and players like Davis and Sanchez weren't getting a sniff. Now they're in our first 11. This worries me greatly. 2 more to go. 1 more to go. And Tom Markinen has said the ploy to link Traore, then James. So only 2 choices. So, I mean, we can always see it, guys, that Traore doesn't get over the line. And we go, oh, we tried to get him, but we couldn't. So we went for Dan James. Be grateful. Iggy, a lot to chew through there with all of that stuff. Let's talk about, did you take your Spurs hat off from what you know with Levy and the owners? Did you expect a better window, or are you in the negative, toxic camp like me thinking, nope, this is exactly what I expect of these type bastards?
No. I expected a better window because for me, all last seasons, especially the second half of the season, I was so pushing for us to make top 4. I was going top 4, make the top 4, because I thought if there's any movement that's going to be happening, it will be if we make the top 4. We make top 4, and you're thinking, okay, now not only we've got ahead of our rivals across the road, so we now should, given the fact that we got top 4, we should have better choices. We're thinking, right, now we can really back our manager and give him a team. Not necessarily to go and win the league, because I think that would have been a big ask anyway. You don't just about make top 4 and then say, right, next season we'll go for the league. But I thought there would be made bigger steps to try and bridge the gap. That was the whole point of making top 4. Otherwise, why do we finish top 4 for? We could have finished
exactly, Iggy. Exactly.
I'm in agreement with that. I'm saying with this current squad, we could have gone with Europa League. What was the fight for top 4? Why was we pushing right until the last game of the season to make top 4? Was it pride? Was it because it was Arsenal? What was it? What was the reason to finish top 4? To get more money? To do what with it? So there's that. I have that fight within myself and saying, what was the whole thing about making top 4? What was the big deal? Was it egos? Because right now it seemed it was all about ego between us and Arsenal. Yeah, making the money, but then what was that statement? 150 million on and off the field. How much of it, even on and off the field, even if it was a half of the money to be invested, what was it for? It wasn't. I haven't seen it. Players coming in, Richarlison, we needed number 9. We finally got another striker to add to the others that play up front. Okay, we've finally acknowledged the fact that we needed another forward. But then the biggest disappointment for me right now is certainly the right wing back. The fact that we haven't addressed, we were so quick to sort out the left wing back when we knew that both sides were the problem all season. The fact that we weren't able to break teams like Brighton down at home was due to the fact we had no width. The attacking central midfield, the creativity which Henry alluded to earlier on, I completely agree. We was crying out for Maddison. Milinkovic-Savic, I'm like, mate, if you can get 50, 60 million on someone like Gordon, go and get Milinkovic-Savic. You'll get him for 50 million. They will give it to you. 50 million euros I'm talking about, not even pounds. So there's so many steps we could have taken, bigger steps. But I don't know. Then I have to think to myself, if they haven't gone for him, is it because Conte doesn't want him? Is it because Conte doesn't need a number 10? I don't know, guys. That's the truth. That's why I want to see it play out. I want to see the next 3. This week, we've got 3 games coming up in 1 week. Nottingham Forest, West Ham away, and then Fulham. And then we've got the transfer market closing the following Wednesday. So this 3 games a week will be very telling how we rotate. We will hopefully get to see some new players come in, like Bissouma, Richarlison will get a game. And we start getting a better idea. But I think this next 10... Well, will we? That's the question mark. Will we?
No, will he? Will Richarlison?
Just quickly, before I come to you...
I think we will.
Before I come to you, Henry, just quickly, Claude Murphy is trying to call me out, so I will always answer anyone who tries to call me out. He has said, look, earlier, Savva, with 1V, was saying there are plenty of wing-backs out there, and all the names he called are wingers who sometimes track back. Let's have a look at this. I love it when fans call me out and are silly and wrong. The wing-backs I said I would like to have seen Spurs sign at right wing-back were Dumfries, who I believe is very much a right wing back.
He's available as well.
Singo, yeah,
Yep,
Molina,
quality.
who's played there for Argentina, right? Maley, who plays there for Atalanta.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure all 4 of those are right wing backs, and they are not wingers. Claude, mate, you tried. 10 out of 10 for trying. Just didn't execute that one, mate. Henry, from what Iggy's saying then, okay, look, we've got those 3 games coming up. I am of the opinion, I think in those 3 games, I don't think we're going to see a lot of rotation. I feel like Conte is very much, this is my team.
He's very stubborn at times.
Yeah, I can see maybe the right wing back being changed. I can see him sacrificing Paratici for Sessegnon and making us weaker. Maybe Richarlison might get a start in one of those 3 games.
I think personally, I'm in Iggy's camp. I think there will be rotation. Conte usually doesn't rotate a lot. He's a very stubborn manager. He knows what he knows works, and normally that's his best bet. But I think Basuma will start one of the 3. I think he'll come in. I think Doherty will come in. Sessegnon will come in. The wing backs will definitely rotate. And I think Basuma will come in when he gets fitness up. Probably Lenglet and Richarlison. There was a lot of talk, wasn't there, on Twitter, all the socials. Would you drop Son for Richarlison? It's not drop. It's rotate. That's the word. It's not, would you drop Son? Would you rotate Son? If we give Richarlison the game against Nottingham Forest, and after 60 minutes, he's puffing out of his arse and he's absolute shit, bring Son on for the last 30 minutes. Vice versa. If Son is, can't hit a barn door at half time, he's missing sitters after sitters, there's an option there now, rather than bringing on Bergwijn and Mora. There is an option. I think, I'm with Iggy on this. I think there will be some rotation in the next 3 games.
Henry, can I add to what you just said, right? From a coaching perspective, the best way to improve a player is to take them out of their comfort zone and put them into a zone that's harder. So the way you improve Son is you either move him and take him to a better club that plays at a high level, that challenges for titles, that challenges for major European honours every year, or within a club, what you do with a player like that is you say, right, you're on the bench, he's going to start, he won't be comfortable with that. Earn your stripes back. We know you've got a lot of stripes, but just earn them back. That healthy competition is taking players out of comfort zones. Sir Alex Ferguson won multiple trophies doing that. Mourinho always had 2 top players for every position because it creates that. So with a player like him and Son, if he's going to stay at Spurs, not just him, I'm talking about Kulusevski, I'm talking about wing backs, anyone at Spurs. If you really, really want to push him, create healthy competition within the club.
Yeah.
Rotate when the performance dips and let the other player come in and show their worth as to why they should now start going forward. So, we're not going to push on unless we start doing stuff like that.
So let me ask you a question then, Stel. Let's go through a few of the questions we've had from people in the chat. This is an interesting one. And I'll start with Stel, then I'll go to Iggy, then Henry. He said, if we had landed Bastoni, would that have changed the window from a disappointment to a successful one? So that one signing alone, guys, the one signing alone on top of what we've already got, would that have made this a successful window in your eyes? Stel?
It would have moved me from a 5 out of 10 to an 8.5 out of 10 because I still feel the right back and the attacking mid hasn't been sorted. But it would definitely put it to, I wouldn't say a successful window. I'd say, yeah, that was a decent window. Mm-hmm. It would push. Okay. It would definitely push it up a few, 2 or 3 notches, 100%.
Iggy,
I'll come back to me. Go on, Henry. I'll come back to me. I'm just mulling it over in my head.
Would that have changed the window from this? Yes. Yeah, it would. It would be a successful window because one of the biggest areas we needed to improve, we have got a centre back who is very young, 22, 23 years of age, 24, whatever he is, already at a very high level, who understands how Conte works, played in a Conte team, won a league title in a Conte team.
He's a class player.
If we early on, if the first sign, if we would have gone right out the traps, Bastoni £60 million before Perisic and before what we've got now. Yeah, that would have been a fantastic start. And then we kind of would have slowly got worse in the players they brought in. Right now, if we go and bring a Bastoni in right now, say tomorrow, Fabrizio Romano, the guy that's, if he tells you to split up with your missus, you're going to do it because he's that reliable. If he comes out tomorrow and says, look, Bastoni, 60 million, it's done deal. Here we go. Instantly, all of our moods would be lifted. All of our, regardless of how shit you think the window is, because you think, okay, right, they're listening. And then if they go and do a right wing back of real quality, say in a hypothetical while we brought in Hakimi and Bastoni, never going to happen, but say we did. 2 of the 3 biggest issues in the club are sorted. Wing back, creativity, centre back. Now we've got 7 days to sort out a creativity issue, but that's never going to happen, is it? Not at the moment. But the thing for me, the interesting thing for me is, I personally feel that we will go with Bastoni next summer. Whether it's the right idea or not, we should be doing it now. But I feel next summer he'll have 1 year left on his contract, I believe.
Henry, what happens if we don't get Champions League football? He says, I don't want to play Europa Cup.
We won't get Champions League next season.
Do you know?
Not unless we go and sort issues out right now. We could
with
do.
Bastoni, I think for me personally, this is how I would have perceived it. It would have been a statement of intent. Getting Bastoni as your first signing would have been like, wow, we mean business. That was the meaning for finishing top 4. It was Champions League football. This is why we achieved Champions League football. So then you can make signings like that. So all of a sudden you would have got Bastoni in, you would have got Perisic. All of a sudden you got a title winning left-sided, and you add Son further ahead. All of a sudden that left side of the Spurs, left centre back, left wing back, and left forward would have been absolutely phenomenal. Then you think to yourself, right, let's go to the opposite side. We just brought in Kulusevski, who had a really brilliant 6 months. You add in the right wing back and you put Romero there. Now you've got a phenomenal right side. And then you can start putting things in places in the spine of the team, which is where in it. And we added Basuma. We got Richarlison up front. Is it maybe the level? We could have gone up a level, but you know what? You would have accepted that for this year. Then you think, right, that part of where Conte wants his strongest team are the back 3. He built his best successes at Juventus on that back 3. He built his best success even when he did well for Italy, even when he did well for Inter. That back 3 were phenomenal because it doesn't matter. They didn't concede a lot of goals because they knew at any given point, Lautaro Martinez, Lukaku, or when they had even when it was at Juve beforehand with the phenomenal players up front, but they based it on a really tight-knit unit at the back. And this is what I felt what Bastoni, by going straight out there and getting him, would have meant. It would have given a signal to everyone to say, we mean business. That's the hardest part for me to get my head around. I'm just
gonna go through another super chat and then 2 more super chats, and then I will. I want to come off the back of that centre back piece again, because I feel like this seems to be the one area that all the fans kind of agree that a centre back is needed. Kafkov Gaming said, absolute joke. West Ham and Newcastle showing more ambition. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm frustrated, especially with West Ham, if they go for a Paqueta type. And
Savva, can I just say, that super chat you just said where West Ham, Newcastle show more ambition. When you say stuff like that, what some Spurs fans will do is they'll say, "Oh, but look at West Ham; they're bottom of the league." Okay, so why allow them to fix and get back into it, and not us pull away and take advantage of their weakness? Newcastle this season might get top 6. Now's the time to invest and widen the gap before they go heavy next year. So I always get a little bit frustrated when fans look at, those clubs aren't doing doing well.
I think what it is,
take advantage then, pull away.
People get confused.
Has anyone seen the news on Harry Winks? Got into Sampdoria, or however you pronounce it.
Is he on loan?
So
they do well in Italy.
Sky Sports.
They do well in Italy.
Is it Sampdoria? It's pronounced. Keen on Winks.
Sampdoria,
but he wants a Prem move. They are willing to pay on a permanent.
Whatever, mate. We'll probably let him go on loan. Yet another loan.
He'll be here next year.
I think the difference is what football fans, so many football fans have the inability to remove their own club hat when they're discussing football. And what I mean by that is to say West Ham are showing more ambition isn't the same as to say West Ham are better than Spurs. They're two very different things, right? From where West Ham are, to show ambition, buying Emerson, who's an upgrade for them, buying Skamaka, who's an upgrade for them, buying Paqueta, who's an upgrade for them. That's ambition for West Ham. The point for me is that Spurs, we constantly seem to sign players that aren't really much better than what we've got. But just quickly, because I've got a question for Iggy in a second. Tom Markland with another super chat. Thank you. He said, Conte knows Ari Emerson. He's not an idiot. And I think what he means by that is that he knows he's not good enough and it will get him out. Can you confirm that, Tom? Or that
Why
he knows
he's
he's brilliant?
So why does he start him ahead of Doherty and Moura and Spence?
I'm just assuming.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make
Iggy,
sense.
I'm coming to you. Just before I do, this ACO, mate, you're good fun. You asked me my opinion on which wing backs I would sign, and then proceeded to tell me I've never seen any of them play football. I really do like that. My missus would love it if I didn't watch all these leagues. Trust me. Let me come to you. I'll go around in a circle again. I'll start with you, Iggy. Scott Kent has said, question for the panel. What 2 signings would you want that would make the transfer window a 10? A 10.
A 10. Well, we spoke about one of them just 30 seconds ago with Bastoni. That would have been, I mean, we're talking any player. Any player. 2. Okay, I'll mention my 2. I think if we'd brought in Bastoni and Milinkovic-Savic, I'd have given it a 10. 2 players,
Bastoni
right?
And
Henry?
But it'd be Bastoni or Hakimi. It'd be Bastoni and either Hakimi or Milinkovic-Savic. I think Hakimi would sort out a lot of all of our issues on that right-hand side.
Good shout. Good shout.
Pace, creativity. You know, he scored a good goal the other night for PSG as well. I feel like Milinkovic-Savic would just add quality in that middle, goals, creative aspects, even the box-to-box side of it. But if I had to choose, I probably would lean towards Hakimi.
Okay. Stel?
I totally agree with Iggy. Bastoni, I think he's absolute class. Milinkovic-Savic, I mean, he walks into any Premier League club, even Man City. He's levels.
You see, my question is this. I will add this. Why is it that Milinkovic-Savic is linked to all the top teams in world football and someone like Lucas Paqueta? This is what I'm trying to get with you guys. Lucas Paqueta is only linked to West Ham. He's actually interested in going to West Ham.
I spoke.
And I'm thinking, why are not all the top teams like Man United,
Iggy,
Savic?
I spoke to Thiago. I spoke to Thiago about Paqueta because he's a Brazilian player, Paqueta, and he said that with Paqueta, there are some attitude problems where he does have a habit of down tooling or not quite playing ball. It's not a bad.
Boys at the moment when they've been scoring a bracket, he's going to get on our house and fire with them lot.
Yeah, but this is Thiago who told me Richarlison is world class. So I take what Brazilians say about Brazilians as a pinch of salt.
I saw him play for a full season, and for me, he
in a French league though. In a French league, remember that.
Yeah, but he looks really good. I'm sorry, I look at him and he looks powerful as well as being skillful.
Fair enough.
He looks powerful. But okay, can I just say for me, I would have. The fact that Bastoni's
better than what we've got. He's better than what we've got in that position.
Yeah, no one. No one. You know what I mean? Who are you comparing him to? What number 10?
I know. Well, Harry Winks can play attacking mid.
Tom, I wanted to make. Tom made a point about Emerson earlier on. I'll give him a little bit of a point there because when Conte had Matt Doherty and Emerson both equally fit, he chose Doherty for numerous amount of games before he got injured against Aston Villa. Then he had to revert back and choose Emerson.
So again. Emerson is better than Spence. So Emerson's better than Spence.
Right, you see, you didn't hear what I just said.
No, in Conte's eyes. In Conte's eyes. Because he's picking Emerson over Spence.
Well, I don't know what he doesn't see. I don't know if he's just making a bloody point as to say he wasn't my player and now I won't play him because he isn't what I chose. And he's been stubborn about that because we know he's got it in him. Or he genuinely thinks this guy has to do a little bit more to to get him in to where. I don't know, guys. I don't know what the plan was when we got Spence and what the plan is now for Spence. I don't know. For me to do what we're doing now, I'd rather us in the next week say, right, let's send this kid out on loan, because what we're doing, buying someone from the Championship that who could have had an opportunity to play in the Premier League with any other team, because if Nottingham Forest hadn't gone for him, I'm sure there would have been 2 or 3 other teams that would have gone for him. From Middlesbrough, they would have got him to bring him in the Premier League. Why is he now? We now got him to then make him sit in the under-23s. It doesn't make sense to me. The boy himself must be thinking, why did I come here if I'm going to be in the under-23s? I could have maybe he could have had, I don't know, he could have had Leeds after him. He could have had so many different teams after him.
But do you know, this is typical Spurs. At the time,
we waited 3 months in signing him. 3 months.
But we all said it at the time, and all the happy clappy fans said, if Conte wants him, that's why we're going for him. Yet Conte said it's not his signing. He's made it really clear, I thought, by not putting him in the team.
Because he said that, he's like, fuck this, he's not playing.
Yeah, I thought it was a very strange signing from the start.
If Spence goes out on loan at the end of this window, I swear to God, all these Spurs fans.
I don't think he will.
Every single one. Iggy, why not? Why not?
I don't think he will, because I'll tell you why I don't think that, because it would look too much as if Conte versus board, Conte versus Levy, because it's like, you got him when I said he wasn't my player. I came out with a statement saying it was a club investment, and now you're going to put him out on loan. You send him out on loan. It will show us a clear friction as to this player coming to Spurs.
I hope it happens then. I hope he goes out on loan then. I think that'd be great.
It becomes, it's too out there, and we'd all jump on that straight away. You'd jump on that straight away. So they're not stupid. They're not going to let that happen.
It's another Jack Clark.
I hope not, because he's shown he's a bit more than that. I believe he is, and I genuinely believe he'd do so much better than what we've got right now. I really do. I'd rather. Do you know what? If I have to,
I'd rather Spence than Emerson. I can't stand Emerson.
It's like going through that same road that you've seen 100 times before, or say, do you know what? Rather than going to that same road that you don't like, would you take a gamble and go on a new road, not knowing what you're going to get? But surely it's got to be better than going down that same road you've been 100 times already, knowing that you don't like it. Try something new, man. Take a gamble. I'd be like, I'll play Spence. I'd play Spence. Simple as that. Unless Traore comes, and then it's a different story.
If Traore comes, then what future is there for Spence? Then what future is there for Spence?
Just quickly, Henry
becomes as a forward. He'd become as a forward.
Henry needs to jump off because he's going live on his own show at 6. He's got a few bits to do. Henry, thanks for coming on. Henry and I are actually live tonight talking not Spurs, Premier League and Champions League.
3 times a day. You lot are serious business over here, I tell you. You lot are not messing about.
It's got to be done. But listen, thanks for having me on.
Let's have a look. Simon Kemp has said, we have had 3 games and you're creating a debate out of nothing. Wait after 15 games. Why should he walk straight in? Who are we talking about?
Nah, 15 is too many.
Simon, we're talking about transfers and the transfer window, which is now. So why do we wait 15 games to talk about the transfer window now?
Which player are we talking about here?
Why should he walk straight in? I think they're talking about Spence. I think he's talking about Spence.
I mean, if players, this boils back down to, if we're buying players that don't walk straight into the team, it tells you we have not bought players better than what we've got. That's simple to me.
I will say this though. That when the transfer market closes next Wednesday, we would have played 6 games, not 3. So 6 games. Although I always said, and still we've spoken about this many times, like 10 games is normally our benchmark. We know more or less what kind of season we're going to have after 10 games. Even with 6 and the transfer market closes after that, I think 6 games is quite indicative. Maybe 3 is too early, but 6, I don't think it's a bad little number to then say, look, let's have a look at these 6 games. Then we had 3 more days when the transfer market closes. And if we haven't done anything then, that needed to be done after
you can't go by 6, Iggy. I'll tell you why you can't go by 6.
No, 6 games is more indicative than 3 games, is what I'm trying to say.
For me, it's the same, and I'll tell you why. Because at least in the first 10 games, you're going to have to play at least 2 of the big boys. Whereas if you look at Arsenal, their first 6 games, I don't think they've got 1 top 6 club.
Arsenal?
Well, no, they don't have 1 top 6 club. right? Whereas we've already played Chelsea away. We're going to have West Ham away soon. I'm talking about the big games. And then I believe game 6 or 7 might be Man City. So I think 10 games allows every club to have played at least a couple of really tough games. Let's see how Arsenal, for example, do away at Anfield. Let's see how they do when they've got to play Tottenham when we come. So I think 6 is... I see what you're saying. I don't actually disagree with you, but I think 6 still isn't even enough.
It's not, but I mean, because Simon said 3 games is not enough, I think, okay, by the time we get to the last day of the market, we would have played 6 games. So perhaps after that, we could have another stream and say, right, we've played 6, 7 games now. The market is now closed. This is where we're at.
Well, I said after 3 games last season, the football we're playing is not sustainable. This is going to collapse. And literally 7 days later, the manager got fired. So I do think you can tell early doors certain things. Like I can tell you now, the right wing back situation is a big problem. Not having a creative mid is a big problem. These things aren't going to go away unless we sign players or we pull a rabbit out of the hat within the squad. I can tell you that already within 3 games. 100%. Just like I can tell you, no matter who we play this season, we are going to put up a fight. No matter who we play this season.
Before the end of the market. Do you not feel a marquee signing inbound before the end of the market?
On what evidence? On what basis? We don't make marquee signings. When did we make a marquee signing?
Like Slo just said, a rabbit out of the hat.
No,
I mean that within the squad. Like, for example, Spence suddenly signs and he actually hits the ground. Sorry, he starts and he hits the ground running. That's the kind of rabbit I meant, not.
Listen, I don't know why. I've had this feeling like the whole way through that before the end of the market, we're going to have brought in another couple of players in.
Yeah, I can see that.
What level? I don't know. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not going to say we're going to sign Marco van Basten, and I'm not going to.
Savva told you, Dan James and Traore are coming to Spurs.
No. Traore possibly. Dan James, I don't buy it. Dan James, I don't buy it. I think Traore, because there was a link already last season that we wanted him. We wanted him already last January, and I can see how he would cause havoc, especially when we're trying to break teams down, and he could be used as a 4-2-4 or as a wing back that needs to bomb forward, or as an added forward. I can see that. I can see a Traore kind of signing. Dan James, I just don't see it, man. I don't.
The Atalanta guy. Right?
And I've got to get this. I've got to get these super chats.
Go ahead. Don't worry.
Guys, so thanks, Mark Shaz, for the super chat. He has said, guys, if there's no more signings, where will we finish? I'll start with this one. I've said the whole summer we are finishing 4th. I'm not moving from 4th. The reason why, this is what makes me laugh. When I say that I'm not happy with what Spurs have done, and people go, oh, so 4th, not that bad. Bearing in mind, we just finished 4th. Kane, Son, and Kulusevski will fire us to top 4 no matter what. We have firepower. I'm talking about, have we got enough to kick on? Have we done enough to really go and close that gap? I don't think so. I want to be wrong. So I'm going 4th, no matter who we bring in now. 4th.
I think it depends what the others do. If Arsenal get another attacking mid, Tielemans on this,
no more signings.
No,
if it can't be no more signings for us and everyone else signs, then it's not really able to say no more signings for anyone.
I thought he was talking about us.
Yeah, he's saying if we get no more signs, but you're saying, oh, we're going to finish here, but depends what the others do if they sign Aubameyang.
No, he said if no more signings. All clubs no more signings. Like, all clubs no more signings.
It has to be. Otherwise, how can you determine we don't sign no one else, but everyone else does?
Yeah, but that's possible. But that's possible.
Yeah, but it's possible that we can sign someone as well.
Yeah, but that's not his question. All right, okay. To keep it simple, if no one else signs any more players,
now
if no one else signs, no, fine. Then
as it is today. Let's say
then I think we'll get 3rd place.
It's fans like this, by the way. It's fans like this that don't understand how teams throughout the years have constantly got better and evolved. Why would you change your winning team? Listen, if we're looking at that 11 that finished the season last year, and we're saying that the first game of the season, it should be the same 11 again. I'm sorry. That, for me, is not progress. We should be making signings that go right wing back in, done. Left wing back in, done. Centre mid in, done. That is how ruthless winning clubs operate. I didn't see Man City pulling Erling Haaland on the bench. Straight in, bang.
Savva, how are we a winning team? We didn't win any trophies.
I know this is.
What
mate,
do you mean a winning team? Top 4 is not a trophy, Aiko.
Unless he meant that it's a winning team at the moment, it hasn't lost even this season. We haven't lost. I don't know, mate.
We haven't won a trophy though, so that's not a winning team.
We're unbeaten this season.
So is Arsenal, and they're above us. We're not a winning team. A winning team wins trophies.
Yeah, I
think for the leaving narrative. You don't know me. You
Right,
do not know me to say that. You don't know me.
This guy's a troll. Aiko, listen, this is your last chance, Aiko. So far, you're having a dig about me asking for likes. Now you're calling me sexist because I haven't got any females on the show.
Unnecessary, man.
There's not a lot of females that I can get on the show that are Tottenham fans and available at the times that I stream. So please grow up, or I will boot you and block you. It's just you're just being really, really silly.
It has no context of what we're discussing whatsoever.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
I wouldn't even give him the time of day with comments.
Yeah, I'm not going to now. Done. So Iggy, where are we going to finish with no more signings?
I have to be consistent. I said this we had a little chat about it yesterday. I honestly believe. Listen, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go second and a domestic trophy, FA Cup or Carabao Cup.
You've lost your mind. You've lost your freaking mind, man. You've lost your freaking mind. With this squad,
it's not the first.
With this squad, Iggy, with this squad, honestly, no more signings.
I was asked a question.
I'm asking you a question.
I'm asking you a question. Yeah, but I didn't answer your. I didn't answer his fourth. I didn't answer your third. I go second. You come going blazing. It's my answer. I give whatever answer. I'm saying, I reckon we will finish second with a FA Cup or Carabao Cup. That's my feeling, man.
Oh, fair enough.
I just don't know where
this. We will write this down. We will write this down. We'll have a little bit. We'll have a little dinner. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. We'll have a little. We'll have a little something to make it interesting.
I feel an Arsenal shirt coming on.
No, not for me. Those bets are this. He takes those bets. I told him not to take
Eric Dyer, Sanchez, Davies, Sessegnon, Emerson, Doherty, Moura are not finishing second place in a million years. And Wink's still at the club. No chance. But clip it. We are not getting second place. Top 4, I can see it.
Yeah, but Stel, you're out of order. Like Noah has said, question for Stel. Would you give some credit to Emerson Royal for that Anfield performance and his performance at the end of the season? I do. I give him credit for 2 games. For 2 games out of 38, which is approximately 4% of the season. So 4% of his job remit. Well done. The 96%, never.
No, to be fair, Anfield, all we did is defend, man. Honestly,
the whole team played well. Ben Davies had a cracker. Ben Davies was man of the match. It happens. It happens, guys. You know?
All right, so basing on from that then, I'll go to you still first. I'll be interested to hear Iggy's if we're coming second. We finished on
listen, I think it's going to be a crazy season. Savva, let me explain my reasoning. Let me explain my reasoning real quickly. I'll take 30 seconds.
Now you've done it.
No. This Premier League this season, it's never been. It's going to be crazy shit that's going to be happening. It's the most divided in the sense that we're going to have a first half of the season, and we're going to have a second half. It's never happened in Premier League before, where we have a month and a bit off during the World Cup. So for me, it's going to be part 1 and part 2. And I reckon after part 1 is done, I think we'll review a few things. I think we will rectify a few things. And I think we're going to go big for the second half of the season. For me, the biggest part of it will be the second half of the season. I think there's going to be stuff happening. And I reckon, listen, that's the reason why I'm going with it. I just think this season's coming up.
So give me a points number. Give me a points number. We're finishing second.
Now you want points as well, man. A second place. I'm a second place. What was the second last season?
Iggy, wasn't my question. It was a super chat. Come on, man.
What do you think of Neto to Arsenal?
No. I've moved. Come on, man.
Points.
Right, here we go. Just for Iggy. There we go. How many points this year? 69
last year.
I think we'll get a bit more than that. I reckon late 70s. I can't be exact. I reckon we'll get I reckon we could do 10 more points than that.
So last year was 90, I believe it was 92 or 93 points, finished second. So we think we're going to do it with 79.
Probably 79, possibly 80. I don't know, but I generally think my belief is that
Man City finished on 93, Liverpool 92, third place was 74 Chelsea, and Spurs finished on 71 in fourth. So for us to get second, Iggy, you need over 90 if we're going by last season.
If we go by last season, but I don't think last season. Listen, there's been freaks where teams have made 99 points and not won the league. Do you know what I mean? How the hell you determine how many points is going to get what?
Iggy, I need a number. You're starting to sound like a politician. Is it 79?
We done 66.
Come on, I need a number.
I'm thinking about it, man. We done 69 points last season, and we weren't great, man. We were not great.
We're 7 points. We're 7 points up on last season, fixture by fixture,
or 2 points down.
2 points down. On why? Why?
Based on games played. Come
on. 3 out of 3 as well.
But Iggy, this is the thing. And listen, we'll come back to the points in a second. This is the thing, right? There's 2 ways to skin a cat. If fans are going to sit and say, well, we're 7 points up on games we played last year, that's assuming, right? That's assuming that we beat Man City twice, draw with Liverpool twice, beat us, right? So for me, we only know what we're up on last year at the end of the season. For me, it doesn't work like that. It works that we've played 3. This time last year, we were top.
Just saying. I'm leaving his lawyer now. That's a brilliant one.
You sound like you need one.
Iggy, I'm sorry, Stel, how many points?
I think we're going to get mid-80s, and that'll be third place if no other club signs any more players. Yeah, because I think we'll finish above Chelsea if they don't buy a striker. I do. I believe that, and I don't think they've got.
I agree. If they don't sign a striker, I agree. I think Aubameyang. Aubameyang is the difference between us finishing 3rd and 4th.
Yeah,
and he doesn't even play for us. That's just me.
But I'll also say this: if we go and buy a top right back, a top centre back, and a top cam, I think we'll challenge for the title. I'm not saying we'll win it, but I think we'll challenge.
That's where my frustration comes from. Still, it's not negativity. It's from the fact that I don't think we're a million miles away. But again, we're not
doing what we need to do.
And we've gone,
I agree.
Oh, okay, let's just flatline. Come on.
Boys, we're going to do something special this year.
I don't think we are. I don't think
second place?
No, I didn't say. Did I say just second place? Where else did I say as well as second place?
A domestic cup.
Yeah. That would be something special because we haven't won fuck all in 22 years. That would be something special.
It would be, yeah.
Come on, man. Everyone's calling me delusional. What else? By the way, the names I've noted every single one of you. Don't think I'll forget. I'll come. We'll discuss this.
Savva, go support another club. I love that. That's my favourite line.
Go and
I love that line.
That's my favourite line of somebody that can't debate and hasn't got any reasoning. Brilliant. Well done.
Do you know what I love about? Do you know what I love? Do you know what's great about these lines? Go support another club as I watch your channel.
Do you know what I've always found funny?
People, listen, you've got to understand there's people that love and there's people that love to hate. There's people that love to troll. But they're all here. They're all here with us, living it with us. That's the most important thing. I don't mind it because we're together. We disagree, we agree. It doesn't matter. We're together. We're talking about Spurs.
Iggy, yesterday, just before we come to the Neto question, yesterday, some guy called Richard, right, messaged me on YouTube. I put out my morning Savva's Daily Thought, comes back and he goes, get a job. This is it. Get a job, right? You, what is it? Get a job. You're not a mouthpiece for the club. So I sort of messaged him back and I said, that's a really interesting style of starting a conversation to the questions I asked. Like, you know, feel free to use your big boy words and put a conversation together. But what makes me laugh about that is I've never professed to be a mouthpiece for the club. Could you imagine the club employing me with the things I say about the club? Unbelievable. Just quickly, guys, one of the super chats was Neto to Arsenal. What do we think? If let's assume, I don't think it's
Top
happening.
signing.
If it
Top
did,
signing.
it's a great
It's a
signing,
good
right?
signing. For
Did
them,
they
it's-
need
it's-
another
for
winger?
them, it's-
Just a question, guys. For me, they needed to sort of invest in the centre mid.
They're in
area.
4 competitions.
In my
aren't they?
Yeah,
opinion.
but we've got 19 right wing backs, so we can't
We've got
really talk.
15.
You know.
No, I agree. We are overloaded in some areas and underloaded in others. I think Arsenal needed to invest in the centre midfield area. I don't think we needed another right winger because we've got that many already. Listen, Neto's a good player, by the way. I'm not knocking him. I'm not going to sit here and say he's the rubbish player. I think
I'll
he's a
take
really
him
good
as
player.
Spurs.
I just
Take him
think
as
to
Spurs.
myself, Saka, Martinelli, Pepe.
Pepe's gone. Pepe's gone.
Pepe's going, isn't he,
But they're all there. They're all there, though.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
all there.
true.
He's not going to play,
They're
though,
all
is he? He's not going to play.
I think to
Hell there.
sum it up, whoever asked that question, I think look,
Winks is at Spurs. We're not going to play him.
if they sign Neto, very good player. Not sure it's going to happen, but very good signing for them if they do. Thank you very much for the super chat from Tommy Castillo. Much love. He has said, "Love you, Iggy."
Thank you, my man.
I mean, someone's got to. He said, "Stel, I can tell you're frustrated. Let me help
Don't
you.
worry, I've got
Donate-
a night out sorted out for him. He'll get better after that.
Donate your season ticket to me. You can thank me later." And Savva, congrats on whatever you need to be congratulated on.
He's getting married. There you go. Congratulations for that.
I'm getting married in 30 days. 30 days today. Not that I'm counting. Oh,
Wow.
Congratulations for that.
oh! I just had like 100 packs of little refreshers. You know the little love hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100 packs that have got like my name and my missus' name on it. Apparently they're called favors. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's just money. Anyway, let's get back to football. Guys, so talk to me then. So Iggy thinks we're finishing second. Stel is going for 4th stroke 5th. Guys,
No, he
let's
said third. Third. He said third.
If there's no more signings,
if there's no striker at Chelsea.
Oh, so if Chelsea,
Yeah.
not us.
no, if nobody signs players, because I think if Arsenal get Neto or one other quality midfielder, or even another striker to back up Jesus, then I think they finish above us.
Okay, so we didn't make 66. We made 7. I haven't checked, guys. So, but thank you, Tom.
No, I told you we made 71
points.
I told you that.
71 points. So
Yeah.
not 66.
I
Yeah.
never said that.
You know what?
The ditcher's got it right in for you tonight, isn't he? He got it right in for the old Igster.
I don't know. Aditya, man. I
He's
hear
been
you. Listen,
deluded. I don't know
maybe
what's
I am
happened to him.
deluded. I am deluded. Maybe I
He came on this show.
I am.
The
Maybe
negative.
maybe I am deluded, man. But we need a mix of everything at the moment because we can't have too much in one way.
I think coming
believe-
second is just it's a bit much, though, isn't it? With this squad?
Here's a good one for us. Thank you everyone for the super chats, much appreciated. And please go over and subscribe to these scallywags at Tottenham away, doing some big things. If you like videos every morning of a deluded Italian man standing outside the
we
Spurs
got a mix
stadium.
between me and him over here. Is a
Yeah.
nice mix. We got one way or we got the other. So you can either hate him or you can hate me. It doesn't matter. Just
Oh,
come
yeah.
on. It doesn't matter.
I give
100% the target. I'm
I give
100% the target. I need a really
a yin and a yang. I don't know what to say,
yeah.
man.
Hey, Savva, every day he goes to me, who gave me that thumb down? Who gave me that thumbs down on my video? I always get one thumbs down. I'm like,
It's
I
him.
don't know.
It's him.
I don't know.
Him.
Thomas said we lost 11 games last season. How many this year? Look, it's really difficult to predict losses, right? But for me, I just want to see that number lowered. Do you know what I mean? I just want to see it drastically. I just want to see
I
it
think
lowered.
it will. I don't think we'll get 11 losses, man. And
I
there
think
weren't
we'll
all
halve
Contes
that. I
either.
think we'll halve that. I think 5 or 6 losses.
How many of
I
those
think
were
we'll halve it.
Contes, guys?
That's what I mean. I think we'll halve that. I think we'll halve the
Yeah,
losses.
I
I
think
think so. We're going to
that's a
be
good
really
question.
difficult to beat. I think we'll get a lot of games. Thanks, Az, by the way. I think we'll get a lot of games that perhaps we may even deserve to lose, but I think we'll get maybe a draw. Do you know what I mean? That's how. Yes, my back. It's got my back.
I don't like if you think about it. Last year, that Wolves game, we lost 2-0 last year. We won it 1-0. So I think the mentality to be more resilient as a squad is better. So them results we've turned around. I think we'll probably lose 5 or 6 games this year. 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Which
for
is
me,
massive, guys, massive.
Yeah, I
Yes,
find it
it's a-
impossible to predict the number of defeats. Look, for me, I think, as I alluded to just now, what's important to me isn't just that, we've picked up points from games where we didn't last year, i.e. Wolves and Southampton at home. What's important is that only means anything if you then beat the Cities again and don't lose to the Liverpools again. Do you know what I mean? This is where I try to keep my feet on the ground. We've got a few more super chats. We're going to go for another 15 minutes if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah,
Cool.
no worries, man.
Yeah, perfect. Guys, I want to talk. I just want to mention this thing. We just mentioned about Chelsea. Now, I mean, Chelsea have had a really interesting start to the season. You would say that they were unflattering, but got the job done against Everton. Looked brilliant against us, couldn't get the job done. And then played against Leeds and lost 3-0 to a kind of new manager with new ideas, etc. What are Chelsea lacking? And does Aubameyang tip the scales? Because for me, I've been very vocal about this. I think, and I'm using Aubameyang because that's the one they're looking to buy. Aubameyang for me gets 18 to 20 league goals there, and that tips the scales to me for them finishing above us. What do you guys think?
Is this for Chelsea to finish above us, or for Chelsea to try and win the league?
I think they're a fair way off Man City. I'm just talking about us versus Chelsea. For me, I think they've got the much better squad, but we've got the much better forwards.
Yeah,
At the moment,
A better manager.
I think
we say a better manager. Tuchel
I
has
don't rate him. I don't rate him. I don't rate him, man. I think
But he's won the Champions
the geezer
League.
should be doing a lot better with this, even with the team that he's got now. He should be doing a lot better than what he is. I wasn't impressed with him. I wasn't impressed with the Leeds game. I wasn't impressed. They were good against us, but then again, how much credit can you give them, and how much was our demerit? I don't know. Even with Aubameyang going there, listen. I think Aubameyang. I'll tell you what's going to happen if Aubameyang goes there. You're going to see a massive rise from his performances. It's going to be a massive rise because it'll be, once the honeymoon period is over, I think he'll go back to being that waste of space, just riding it out, sitting on his fat contract. I don't think his hunger is there anymore, man. I'll be honest with you.
Didn't he just lose belief at Arsenal because it was falling apart under Arteta?
Nah, what did he do at Barcelona, man? What did he do at Barcelona?
He got 11 and 17.
Did all right there.
He did okay, but
No.
Why didn't they sign him? Why they not keeping him? Savva, why they're not keeping him?
Because they can't register the players of time.
If he was that good, they would have got rid of someone else, and they would have kept him. If he was worth keeping, they would have done it.
Well, Lewandowski's better than Aubameyang, isn't he?
Spurs fans are brilliant at this. Spurs fans are
49 years old.
Whoever
still
anyone
better.
else signs,
I don't think at Spurs.
Whoever anyone else signs is crap. Aubameyang's goal scoring record, apart from that
I didn't
season,
say it's crap. I just don't see. I don't see somebody that his hunger is there. I don't think he's going to sustain it. I think he'll have a massive rise and then he'll dip again. It's what he does.
Yeah, but if he comes in for one season, does a job for one season until they sort it out next year.
Look at his relationship with Tuchel as well.
10 years ago,
mate. It doesn't
10
matter.
years ago. All right, we'll see.
10 years ago.
You know what I mean? All right, there's an exaggeration, but it was a long time ago. Things have changed, man. Players have changed, and managers changed. So I don't know. I don't think you can rekindle. Listen,
okay, I'll tell you what.
Savva, I think if Chelsea get a striker, whether it's Aubameyang or someone else, if they get Aubameyang, I can see that working. They get Aubameyang plus, I do think they've got an issue in that number 10 role. I don't think they've got someone that is creative enough. I don't, for whatever reason.
Have you seen how many chances they've created already in the 3 games? They create chance,
and that back four have not.
Wait. Hold on. Let me explain. They create a lot of chances, but they don't put them away enough. You can't just depend on one striker to do that. Whoever sits in that 10 role's got to contribute, like what Son does for us. So I think whether it's a player within the squad who gets moved into that position, but Kai Havertz, for whatever reason, it's just not ticking for him under Thomas Tuchel. So I think If they get a 10, I think they need that 10 as well. But it could be within the club already. It could be within the club already.
Quite possibly. Just quickly, funny, we literally just talked about Pepe, and it's just come across Sky Sports breaking news that Pepe has agreed a loan to Nice. Is it a loan?
They can't get rid of him either. These big, expensive players are all on loan. No one can afford to pay for them.
Nice agreed deal to sign Arsenal forward Nicolas Pepe on season-long loan, and the breaking news
they're going to get Neto.
Is that Manchester United are prepared to up their offer for Anthony to £80 million.
This is just insane prices, guys.
He's a top player, though.
He's a wicked top. What have they done to what have they? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm.
Mate,
I don't know.
Listen,
these guys.
Iggy, say what you want. Say what you want. But Ten Hag has gone there. He asked for that short centre back. He got him. He asked for Casemiro. He's got him. He's now asked Martinez. He's now asking for a player that played under him, who he thinks is quality. Anthony. Whatever we say, they are buying the players.
Man United have been Man United, is what they always do.
But they're buying the players Ten Hag wants. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted some of those players he had.
I think if they've got Eriksen in, they've got Casemiro as well. If they get
Martinez,
is it Gakpo,
Eriksen,
and Anthony, I don't think they're going to be a bad team at all. But like I said the other day when I was on the channel with Rants and Bants, who's Man United fans, I said, the thing is, people, you've got to give him some time to get them playing the way he wants. That's going to take a while. So I don't see them as any sort of challengers to top 4, but I'm not discounting them from Europa League places because I don't think the league's that strong outside the top 5. I don't see anyone as strong in there. Just quickly, Peter Sullivan has said, I said I will not underestimate Iggy again after I thought he was crazy for saying we will get top 4. Come on, you Spurs. Another Peter thinks we're going to get 90 points and win it possibly. I mean,
it's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Peter, the other day on my show, and Peter, you did say this.
Go on, Peter.
He guaranteed me we will win the league definitely by the end of next season.
Respect, man. Let him believe. Let him believe. Why not?
That's cool. Listen, let people believe, but some of us are just down here in like the real world. Do you know what I mean? It's cool. I want to win the lottery. I don't assure people it's happening, do I? Can you imagine if Spurs win the league this year? I'll have to shut down my channel, won't I?
I'm coming to your house. I'm coming to your house.
There is unless we make 2 top signings, we're not winning the league. No, it's just.
I think United will make top 4. I'll tell you this as well. I think they'll make 4th.
If they get the players they want, they're in with a shout.
They will make 4th, and Arsenal will miss. I think it will be Arsenal or Chelsea to miss out.
Chris with the best and worst joke of the day all at the same time, saying if Arsenal get Neto, other supermarkets are available. Yeah, knowing Spurs, we'll probably sign someone called Morrison from like League 2 or something. That's
we only shop in Lidl.
Look, just for the last 6 minutes, guys. Look, I think what's wonderful about this is Spurs have created a squad and an aura where the fans can be so conflicted in our opinions. Like, sometimes you get fans who go, I think we're finished there or there. Spurs fans are anywhere from like 1st to 6th from what I'm hearing. And it's
someone's going to be right. Someone's going to be right. Someone's going to be on it and going to go, I told you.
4th. If we finish 4th, I want everyone that's come onto my show and called me negative and toxic. Everyone's come on and go.
That's going to happen regardless. You know that, right?
If we don't win, if we don't win the league or win a domestic trophy, I want a public apology from 90% of people that comment.
Get lost. If you're going to get that. Why? I want a public apology.
Why?
And what if we finish second, win a domestic cup? Do we get an apology from you?
I get called out publicly.
Do we get an apology from you?
If what?
If we win a domestic trophy and we finish in the top 3 or second or whatever, do we get an apology?
I do my forfeits.
I'm not stupid enough to say I'm going to wear an Arsenal shirt.
No,
that
but you predicted
never
to come
come out of my mouth. That would never. Why? Why Arsenal? I can wear any shirt you want, just not Arsenal. Some of us are not that silly, mate. What can I say to you?
Next question.
Listen, we're that sort of fan base that even if everything I said was spot on and we finished fourth with the right points, I'd still get, yeah, but we only finished fourth because of negative fans like you. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like, it'll be my fault. It'll be my fault.
Yeah, you were in the dugout the whole season.
It doesn't matter. That's the role. That's what you've signed up for.
Listen, I'm just laughing about it these days because, like, do you know what? At least people stop calling me a CUNT. At least now it's just negative.
I don't like them words. I don't like them words. You save them for special occasions. Them ones.
Peter Sullivan, another super chat. Thank you so much, Peter. I said Iggy's got special magic for Spurs. Work it, Iggs. Work it. Come on, you Spurs.
Second and a trophy.
Love to Savva and Stell. Love the realness always.
It's not Savva, it's Savva.
Savva. Yeah. No one can ever spell my name, and it's only like.
You should try Iggy. You should see what I get.
I just I don't think anyone's been belittled, have they? I don't think anyone was belittled.
No need. I no idea.
John Stokes, I haven't seen you for ages. We used to talk a lot. How are you, my man? Hope you are well. He has said, my prediction for this season, we will win the FA Cup. Newcastle will finish top 6. Forest will finish top 10.
John, I'll take that. John, I'll take that. I will refund you $4.49 back if that happens. Ooh. I will refund you the $4.49 back. And do you know what? I'll double that. I'll double refund.
There you go.
John,
let's make it interesting.
John, do me a favour. John, can you go on to whatever betting site, if you do bet, could you put that in as an acca and 100%, see what,
John, do it.
What it would
do
be?
It. Do it, man.
But you get good odds on that.
Yeah, I think you would as well. Richard Pure said, Stel, if that happens, I will come on and give you that apology personally. Richard, I don't want to tell you in what format Stel accepts his apologies.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, a kid with a Victoria sponge cake on your head.
Gary has said Savva. Correct. See, it's easy to spell Savva. Just 3 letters. Savva, if we finish 4th, who do you think are the 3 clubs above us? I have gone on record many a time, and I'll probably be very wrong, saying the top 5 for me is going to be the exact same top 5 in the exact same order. I truly believe that Liverpool will come out of this slump. And I think they'll kickstart that against Bournemouth. If they don't kickstart against Bournemouth, then I will quickly be changing my stance. But I do believe it will be the same top 5.
Do you think Man United or Arsenal might win the Europa Cup this year?
I don't see why. I don't see why not with Arsenal. I suppose. Look, with things like that, for me. It's all down to how serious are those clubs taking it. Do you know what I mean? Do they see it as is top 4 maybe the remit that's been given to Arteta to keep his job this year? If that's the case, is he going to put out reserve? I don't know. Guys, we are going to finish there unless there's any last thoughts. When are you guys going live again? When can people see Tottenham away?
Tomorrow morning with Iggy, and Friday. We do a show every Friday about 10 o'clock.
Nice. Okay, everybody in the chat, I'm sure you know these 2 guys. They're larger than life characters. They've got a great.
You've got another super chat, Savva. Just come in.
There is another super chat. PSS 19870. Thank you very much. I said, big up, guys. I don't think Wolves will sell Neto.
Million.
If they do, they will ask for 70 million. I think Gordon is 60 million. Here's a quick question for you guys.
We're going to see a lot of loan deals.
Who would you rather pay 60 million for, Neto or Gordon?
For me, Gordon. For me.
Really?
For me, Gordon. I think it would be more useful to for our cause. That's how I see it. I don't know, guys. Yeah.
This is such a messed up question because I would feel better spending it on Neto, who's proven. But I think Iggy's right. Gordon's more what we need.
Finally, we agree.
What about you, Savva?
Finally.
I would take Neto all day long. I think Gordon. Listen, I've got this problem with young English players is that they all get bigged up so quickly before they've actually rubber stamped anything.
True,
I think he looks decent. I'm not saying he doesn't look a good footballer, but so far there's been nothing in terms of stats, consistent performances. Now, difficult because he plays for Everton, but you know, at this age, they either go like that or like that. So, you know, we should learn from the kind of Dele Alli situation. But guys, I really do need to go. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for all the super chats. Thank you for the lovers. Thank you for the haters. Thank you for the fence sitters. Thanks to Iggy. Thanks to Stel. And I will be live with Henry tonight on our Champions League Premier League show, Not a Tottenham show. Much love.
Come on,
and come on, you
Spurs.
Spurs.
Bye.